Let's give this a shot. This is game 24 of the schedule of the regular season of my WHL 1962-63. This is, I believe, the 11th season in the history of the Western Hockey League. It depends how much you want to include the Western Canadian Pacific leagues that led up to this, but we have a pretty good matchup here, I think, and actually one of the things that I neglected to do, and you know what, I will do it live. I probably will never do a perfect, put it this way, the day that I do a perfect video with this is where I'm, entirely 100% satisfied with it, is probably the day that I stop doing this. So coming into this game, the Seattle Totems carry into it a record of 3-1-1. Hopefully that shows up well enough on camera. And the Edmonton Flyers, for their part, playing in the Northern Division, where they are, I believe, second overall right now, though they've played fewer games, so they have games in hand if not. They come into this one with a record of 3-1, so these teams, after 9 combined games, have a record of 6-2-1 coming into this. This is a good matchup here. This should hopefully be a good one. And some notable names, I guess, maybe, for some of you. Playing for the Seattle Totems, you have Guile Fielder. Fielder, who the offense didn't really carry over in some brief stints with the National Hockey League. I'm not sure how much ice time that he would have had in some of those games. Gord Sinclair, Jim Powers, Rudy Filion, hope I said his name correctly. Jerry Leonard, Bill McFarland, Bob Barlow, I believe it's Bob Barlow, Don Chupka, Bob Sabrin there as well, Don Ward. Yes, that would be Don Ward. Guile Fielder is on the card again. He's pretty prominent in these things. And you have Barlow, Powers, McFarland, Chupka, Sabrin, Leonard, Fielder, Filion. Be honest, I can't remember actually. Hall. Let's have a quick look here actually for Seattle. Hall's first name. I'm going to go with William Hall. It might be Warren Hall. There is a Warren Hines. Warren Hines. Of course, that would be Edmonton and not Seattle. Wayne Hall. So Wayne Hall. For the Edmonton Flyers, you have Sid Finney, Ray Knisewicz, John Mizuk, NHL experience, defenseman for Detroit, Boris or Bo Alec, Jack McIntyre, Chuck Holmes, Doug Messier. Billy McNeil comes into this one with 200 games of NHL experience, 17 goals. And Barclay Plager, who was an NHL star to become, the aforementioned Warren Hines, Forbes Kennedy, lots of NHL experience, Norm Corcoran, hope I'm saying his name correctly. And anyway, we might as well go. I think the teams are getting ready here to face off, so some other names might come up during the game itself, but how this is played is as such. So with the Black Nine, we're going to get actually the Seattle Totems here with it in the initial sequence. We're looking at Bill McFarland there with the puck. And with the Red Queen, we come over to the Edmonton Flyers team defense where it says Kings and Red Queens. So it looks like Bill McFarland has set up Wayne Hall in scoring position here for the Seattle Totems, trying to make me learn his name. Wayne Hall with a 7. That's going to be a save, actually, for Boisvert and the Edmonton Flyers net. Another name that I'm hoping, though not entirely sure I pronounced correctly. Sorry if not. It's going to be Bob Barlow here with the puck now. So the Totems here with the possession again, coming up to the 5-minute mark. And with the Red Queen, once again, it's going to be Barlow able to penetrate the Edmonton Flyers defense. Where it gets to 8 is Guile Fielder. Guile Fielder has morphed into a goal scorer in this one, and this is no exception. I believe this will be Guile Fielder's 7th goal of the season. Guile Fielder, who in real life led the 62-63 WHL competition in scoring with 97 points in 70 games, but only 17 of those 97 points were goals. Here, I believe right now he has 7-7 for 14 points. Could be off by about a point. I have, as much as you look at prior to a game, you can never, there's always something that once the camera's on, you feel like, oh, well, perhaps I overlooked that. But anyway, let's see here if we can, okay. Maybe center that a little better. So anyway, it's 1-0 here. Guile Fielder, he did get the pass from, I believe, Bill Barlow. Another of many things that I love about this game is if you're unsure who made the pass, you can look. So player 8 for the assist. I'm looking at Barlow. That's for the initial assist. It's about 5 minutes in. I've decided what I'm going to do is use random number 1 to 150 to backfill an exact number of seconds after the game. And in the meantime, what I will do is look to see if there is a secondary assist. So with that red 10, I'm looking at the card. I look at hearts, and I see 9 to Jack there, Jerry Leonard. So I'll give Jerry Leonard a secondary assist. It is Jerry Leonard and Bob Barlow setting up Guile Fielder to make this a 1-0 game for the Seattle Totems about 5 minutes into it. So with another possession for the Totems, all Totems here early on, it's going to be Jim Powers with possession. Powers, I'm looking to a 7 of clubs. A 7 does mean Powers puts it through. For someone in scoring position, Bob Barlow, not as good of an opportunity here. Barlow hemmed to the outside, and Barlow with the 2. He's unable to get a good shot through there. And it's going to be with the first possession of the game, Ray Kanisewicz here for the Edmonton Flyers, trying to draw even, but with the 2, Kanisewicz evidently has misplayed it. The puck took a hop there, so 2 more cards come off. Sometimes what I like to do periodically is just go through. We got 4, 8, 12, 16, so we are up to halfway through the first period. Still 1-0 Seattle. Once again, it's going to be the home Edmonton Flyers here with possession. Forbes Kennedy. Kennedy again with the 2, so it's badly misplayed. So we're going to take 2 more cards off there. We're about 12.5 minutes in. Up to the 15-minute mark we go now. We're looking at a number 5. Number 5 is going to be Warren Hines here with possession. Hines with the 3. So some low numbers coming up terribly at inopportune times here for the Edmonton Flyers. But again, they are maintaining possession here, going up to 17.5 minutes now. Jack McIntyre had a lot of success. I have to look to the team defense with the face card for the Seattle Totems. It does say Kings only. So again, it's been misplayed here. 5 minutes to go here in the first period with the blackjack. It's going to be Rudy Fillion with the puck for the Seattle Totems. And again with the 3, a low number. So we're looking at our final sequence here in the first period. I believe so. And I will show a way that I double check there. It's going to be Warren Hines with it. So all Totems in the first half, Flyers in the second. Warren Hines with the 4, unable to find anyone in scoring position. And I will double check here. I'm looking at 4, 8, 12, 18 cards, which means actually this has been a 36 card first period of play where there should only have been a 32. That's just how much I got into it. Anyway, it is 1-0 here, the score after 1 period, and be right back. Back for the second period with a more decidedly idiot-proof way of doing things. What I have here is 32 cards exactly already picked out, which is exactly how many I need to complete the period. I also have, and this is a little, I guess I might even call it an innovation. I think I've not heard of it elsewhere that I thought of only seconds ago. 32 cards here in the main deck, the actions, the sequence, whatever leaves 22 left over, and so I've given each team exactly 11. These are to be used for things like secondary assist and possibly also injuries. So, oh, and also for team card draws as well, which we didn't see any of in the first period. What we saw in the first period, still a tight 1-goal game here after 20. It was Guile Fielder getting on the board from Bob Barlow and Jerry Leonard there about 5 minutes in. And so let's see what we get here for the second period. Starting off the puck right away, it's going to be Gord Sinclair there for the Seattle Totems. And we look here, the team defense, it does say Kings and Red Queens, so Sinclair, he leaves it for Don Chuka. Don Chuka winds up and fires with a 5. And here, right off the bat in period 2, it's going to be the Seattle Totems taking a 2-goal lead. Don Chuka there, he rocketed one top shelf by Boisvert. Hopefully I'm saying his last name correctly there for the Edmonton Flyers. So it was Chuka from Sinclair. Now let's see if we have a secondary. So I'm looking here to the 4 and then to the D. I looked to the Diamonds 4, and that is Sinclair. So it will just be a 1-assist goal on account of Sinclair not being able to be awarded a second. I think that some people, what they might do at that point is go through and draw a secondary card from the draw pile to see if they can award a secondary assist a second time. I'm simply content to go with 1 assist. I think I'm averaging about 1.5 to 1 3/4 assists per goal probably anyway. So I think I'm getting about the desired average. Okay, so anyway, it's a 2-0 game here for the Seattle Totems, and the Flyers are looking to get on the board. It's going to be defenseman Doug Messier. Few good feeds early on, but characteristic in this game for the Edmonton Flyers. Basically, when you draw a 2 on the second card of a sequence, you can just move on, unless you're Guile Fielder. So anyway, that was a 2 and then 1 more card and then so 1 more card. So we are now 5 minutes into it. And if you're not entirely sure and not entirely confident, maybe it means that you're playing on camera yourself and you're me. So 5 minutes into it, let's see here. With the 8, it's going to be Bob Barlow with it. Barlow with the 6, he narrowly misses there. That pass is picked off. And let's see here. So we get, now I'm getting paranoid about this. That was a 6, a narrow miss, right? And then the 2 more cards coming off there, the 9 and the King. So here with the red 8, it's going to be the possession for Is it going to be Doug Messier again? Really, Doug Messier's got the puck again. Doug Messier. Wait, yes, it was Barlow nearly missing. So it's back to the Edmonton Flyers number 8 there, Doug Messier. Doug Messier with a 10, which is an automatic feed through to 3. It's going to be Forbes Kennedy there from afar. Forbes Kennedy, we look, and Kings and only Red Queens will fool Seattle goaltender Al Miller. So Miller manages to pounce on the puck here, where we get a 4. So off the ensuing draw, it's going to be Kennedy with it once more here. And he manages to power through to the ace. The ace is Jack McIntyre. Jack McIntyre with the 2. McIntyre, he fans on the shot. We carry on here. It's going to be Rudy Fillion with the puck. Fillion here with a 5. That means it doesn't get through. 2 more cards coming off the pile. So we're down to, I believe, 5 minutes now to go here in the second period. 2-0 Seattle Totems. And we get the 3. The 3, it's going to be Guile Fielder. Fielder with a red jack means he's unable to penetrate the Edmonton Flyers defense. So we're down to the final 2.5 minutes here in period 2. And we're looking at Bo Ellick here with the puck for the Edmonton Flyers. Will be able to penetrate the Seattle Totems defense. Inside to player number 9, Chuck Holmes. And Chuck Holmes, a joker, is an automatic goal for the home team. It does leverage the home team a little advantage. So here, tying it at the tail end of 2, giving the Edmonton Flyers some hope. They're a home fan, some hope here going into period 3. It was Chuck Holmes there. Again, a great way to double check. That is indeed Chuck Holmes. And I think he got the feed initially there from Boris Ellick. So Chuck Holmes from Boris Ellick. And let's see here. We're looking to 9, the 9 of diamonds. We're looking to Warren Hines there. So again, it's going to be Chuck Holmes from Bo Ellick and Warren Hines. I could say, and initially when I started playing this game and I wasn't keeping the exact seconds, I would have just said right at the 20-minute mark. But for something like this, again, I Google random number 1 to 150, and you can either hit refresh or you can click on the random number generator each time, and what you will get is a random number to give an exact number of seconds, and then I'll add that up from the previous. It goes 2.5 minutes each time, so I would then add that number to 17 minutes and 30 seconds and get the exact time of goals scored. So again, giving Edmonton a little life going into the final 20 here, because of course I don't do sudden death or I don't do overtime. I do sudden death overtime, but this is not playoff hockey. This is still regular season here. Game 24 of 56 that I will play with DoC Hockey, and then I'm going to do 24 division rival games with Paradise Hockey between these exact same teams, the 1962-63 Western Hockey League. If you're bothered by the fact that that's probably a Totems logo that didn't arrive until at least a season or 2 later, I apologize. This is a logo that I like, so I'm making exceptions, dramatic ones perhaps, where I prefer it. Basically, it is a preference to the all-red Totems logo. There was enough red in the league already with the Stampeders for one, and I guess the Buckaroos there with a little bit of red in their logo, and knowing my luck, probably one that I'm forgetting or overlooking. Maybe it's the Comets that also have a little red in their insignia. So anyway, another thing that I really enjoy about this game is, even if you're not a particularly skillful shuffler, of which I do not think that I am, you can I can make a few piles here, I guess, the early going. I've never actually done it this way, so I ought to be careful. Maybe what I should just do is just to separate them. So I'm looking at the draw pile here. I'm up to 4. And so you can do it this way as well. This is a way that actually recently off camera, I've not been doing it this way because basically I've been doing it the way that I did it in the first period, and that's not the first time that I play a 36 card sequence by mistake. Of course, any goal that's scored after 32 I wouldn't allow it or anything like that, but let's see how close we get to 22. We're up to 4, 8. Okay, so 3 more cards. And so I think what I might do is just add 3 cards to the top of this and then 10 to this. And then what I can even do with this here is just do a little additional shuffling here, just to really try to mix it up and see if we can't pull something else out here in the third period. See if the Flyers can't complete the comeback, come from behind victory here at home, the Edmonton Flyers. Where I've noticed actually the Northern Division relative to the Southern Division, it seems like the Northern Division teams are really struggling. You have the Calgary Stampeders so far in this. They're 0-5, still without a win. First overall, actually, right now is the Portland Buckaroos with a record of 4-1-1. Though if the Seattle Totems can manage to hold the victory here, then they would have tied the Portland Buckaroos. So 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So what I'm going to do again, these are going to be draw cards for the respective teams, again for secondary assist, or where I might need a team, a player to resolve a play. So here, kicking things off for period 3, just under 15 minutes in, and we are indeed going to get a team player here for the home Edmonton Flyers. So what I do here is I look at the 4, and I have my own. So I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players who might be involved in the action a little less often. Maybe they didn't play as many games that season. So I'm going to go 2, 4, 7 to, no, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 13. That's how I do it. So the 4 there, it's going to be Marcone, and so Marcone here with the puck, Marcone there with the blackjack. That actually means that Marcone potentially is injured, so I'm going to look at another. So it's a blackjack and a blackjack, and I could actually check. I do fully intend to do, to actually play some things that come up in this game only rarely here with the video in the near future. And so a couple of jacks. The player misses the rest of the current period. So Marcone, who doesn't get involved a whole lot anyway, he's going to be gone here for the duration of the third. We'll take 2 more cards there off the pile, and we'll play on. We're 2.5 minutes into it, up to the 5-minute mark. Again, Edmonton pressing. Boris Alec, who had the assist in the last period, but again, characteristic of Edmonton in this game, unable to get anything off and going there. So we are, I believe, 5 minutes in now. So it's going to be here with the 6. It is Barclay Plager here with the 8. That's going to be played through. Barclay Plager gets it to Forbes Kennedy. Forbes Kennedy, who's had his chances in this game, and much like previous ones, he's missed on them. With the black 6, back the other way with the puck, it is Bob Sabram for the Seattle Totems, and that dreaded 2 means I believe we're about halfway through the final frame now. Seattle just trying to hold on to their lead here, but it's been challenged by Warren Hines. Warren Hines, who again turns up a 2. It's funny how often the 2's coming up with the 2 in the sequence. So we look here to the black 5, and that is, I believe, Jimmy, I'll have to check if it's James Hay or Joe Hay for the Seattle Totems there. The J Hay with the 9, he's going to set up. Let's see, he finds Bill McFarland open in front. McFarland with an 8, and suddenly we have a 3-1 hockey game here for the Seattle Totems. Bill McFarland from Hay, and a joker. So I'm not going to flip a second card. I realize that some might. I'm just going to say a 1 assist goal again there. McFarland from Hay with about 2.5 minutes remaining. So, or scratch that, about 5 minutes to go. The Flyers have time to come back and tie at least. Once again, it is Warren Hines with possession. Ace, much like a 10, automatically means that he sets somebody up in scoring position, here to take a shot. Norm Corcoran, and indeed the Edmonton Flyers do make a game of this. It is going to be Corcoran here getting on the board with about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, I guess, to go, maybe a little more. Again, I'll check for exact time after the game. Corcoran from Warren Hines there. And secondary assist, I look at the Hearts, and I look to the 8, McIntyre. So Jack McIntyre, normally a goal scorer so far throughout this campaign, picking up a secondary assist there on the goal from Norm Corcoran, and the primary being awarded to Warren Hines, who's had a pretty good game here for the Edmonton Flyers. So final 2.5 minutes, and it does look like some of the drama's taken out of there immediately, because the Seattle Totems here with possession. Let's see if they can add to their lead and get the insurance marker late. I guess I could have simulated pulling Edmonton's goalie again. I might do that again in another video where I show optional rules and rare stuff for this game coming soon. But it's going to be here. Bill McFarland with the puck, with the ace. He's automatically playing it through to 3-3. So it looks like, sorry, I said Bill Barlow. It's actually going to be in time to correct his name. I believe that would be Bob Barlow. Might even be a Robert. So Barlow here in the final play of the period, and it looks like he doesn't have enough time to get a good shot off before the final buzzer sounds. So there you have it, the initial game here that I've decided to show from this project on camera. And the final score there you have 3-2 for the Southern Division Seattle Totems. The Edmonton Flyers there with the defeat fall back to 3-2. They would, let me see here, that would put them in the division, because I believe they came into this one first. Although the Canucks have 3 wins, but it's now against 4 losses, the Vancouver Canucks. So the Edmonton Flyers fall to 3-2. The Seattle Totems will improve to 4-1-1, meaning that they are now in a tie, at least record-wise, with the Portland Buckaroos for first, not only in the Southern Division, but also here in the Western Hockey League. Anyway, that's a wrap for me for now. Game over. Bye for now.